Section 3.5 for geometry is about writing and graphing equations of lines. Yeah, I couldn't just do like 1 through something odd. So these are all the numbers you have to do. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19 through 25 all. I didn't want to make you do all of them, but I did want to make you do enough. The first set of instructions might ask you to, given 2 points, write an equation in slope-intercept form. If we recall, this is slope-intercept form because there's your slope and there's your intercept. And so the first thing I should find is my slope, x1, y1, x2, y2. So negative 2 minus 4 over 3 minus 0 is negative 6 over 3, or negative 2. So now I know that y is negative 2 times x plus b. So now I still need to find b. I mean, these are the 2 parameters I'm looking for. I'm writing an equation between these 2 variables, y and x. And I do know that when x is 0, y is 4. So therefore 4 equals 0 plus b. B must be 4. That's kind of obvious if you look at that. You can say, oh, there's the vertical intercept. But suppose you didn't have a 0, 4. If you had plugged 3, 2 in, you would have gotten the same thing. Because if I put 3 in here, and negative 2 in here, I'd get negative 6 here when I added 6 to both sides. I'd get 4 again for b. So have I finished? No. I know my slope is negative 2, and I know my vertical intercept is 4. So there is the equation in slope-intercept form. Find the slope, find the intercept, and then put them into the equation. Those are the parameters you're responsible for. Suppose I want to write a line that's parallel and perpendicular to a given line through a particular point. I always like to think about what this looks like. 2x minus 3, I have some vertical intercept on here at negative 3, and I have a slope of 2. So there's my line, y equals 2x minus 3. And here's my point, negative 1, 1 over here. So I want a parallel line, and I also want a perpendicular line. So if y is parallel, I know that m will be 2. If y is perpendicular, I know that m will be negative 1 over 2, the negative reciprocal. Now I am going to suggest that you use point slope. This is the point slope form of an equation, and I feel like it's way more relevant because I am given a point and I know my slopes. So I simply plug values in. So y minus y1 equals m, this should be the parallel line, x minus x1. So y minus 1 equals 2 times x plus 1. You could leave it like that, or you can simplify. Y equals 2x plus 3. That looks about right, right? What if I want to find the perpendicular? I'll do that over here. So again, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and my y1 is 1. Whoops. My slope in this case is negative 1/2, and again, my x1 is negative 1. So y minus 1 equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. This is actually a more common form in terms of more sophisticated mathematics. So it's good to know it. I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and I'm going to get y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1/2. And sure, my drawing was a little crude, but that makes sense. So I'm going to encourage you to, when you're writing parallel and perpendicular lines through a point, parallel and perpendicular essentially gives you the slope, and I want it to go through a point, so I'm going to use point slope. Reminders about how to graph. I personally prefer a table of values. What happens when x is 0, y is going to be 2. Negative 1/3 times 0 plus 2 is 2. If I have to multiply by 1/3, let's pick a nice number like 3. Negative 1/3 times 3 is negative 1 plus 2 is 1. So 0, 2, 3, 1. There's my line. You can do the junior varsity method of saying I'm at 2, there's my vertical intercept, and I know my slope is negative 1/3. You can do it that way. But I feel like plotting a table of values works no matter what. And certainly if you're given standard form of a line, we call this ax plus by equals c. It's much easier to find the intercepts. So look, if I say x is 0, what's y going to have to be? Negative 3. Negative 4 times what is 12? Negative 3. Now I'm going to let y be equal to 0. And if 3x equals 12, then x must be 4. So there's my 2 points. 0, negative 3, 4, 0. There's that line. So you can take any line, any equation that you're given and convert it into something convenient, either standard form or slope-intercept form, and do a quick table of values. 2 points is all you need if you know it's linear. And just a reminder, what does x equals 6 look like? Well, that is x is always 6 is how I like to say it. So that's actually a vertical line, because it doesn't matter what y is, x is always the same number. What does y equals negative 3 look like? Well, that's a horizontal line, because y is always negative 3. Doesn't matter what x is, y is always negative 3. Hopefully that'll take care of section 3.5.